I asked you, will leg kicks be the difference in this fight? No, the answer was no. He threw almost no leg kicks. I was very surprised by the game plan of Cannonier. Had Derek Brunson not tired and gassed out the way that he did, trying to go for so many takedown attempts, this would have been a really weird, lackluster performance by Cannonier. Would you agree with me on that one, man?
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah,
gun shy almost
yeah.
to the point where it was very interesting. And I just think it was because Derek Brunson is so dangerous in the takedowns that he did that. Cannonier didn't want to overextend. Maybe that's what we were seeing, but it was a little lackluster. I agree with you.
Yeah, so I mean, Derek Brunson, brother, he did what we knew he was going to do. We said there's one game plan, literally one game plan. The game plan is to snatch a leg, get the man on the ground and pound him, finish him, keep him there. I said Jared Cannonier has very underrated get-ups, and I think I was correct in that assessment, man. He was able to get up. When we look at a little bit of numbers right here, AJ, it looks like for Derek Brunson, right, he was on takedowns, 3 of 13. So very, very poor takedown percentage. But then again, Jared Cannonier has good takedown defense. He got outstruck pretty rough, 61-48. Brunson actually threw more than Cannonier, so it goes to show, yeah, he was a little on the gun shy side, man. But once it got towards those later rounds, because I mean, at the end of the day, this was second round, right, when he got the finish. But once it got towards those later rounds, man, Brunson just looked weird, and that was a lot of comments. People are saying that he looked like he was about to pass out for the last 3 minutes of the fight, like he was that tired. And I don't know if he was that tired. I don't know if he got he did get hit by something by Cannonier, like an elbow or something that might have rocked him, had him pretty dazed, pretty stunned, but when it got to the floor and we saw what Jared Cannonier did to Derek Brunson, man, that was what Derek Brunson ideally wanted to do to Jared Cannonier. The question here, AJ, is that it's like this is a sad way to see Derek Brunson go out, because as much as we didn't necessarily love the fight style of it, he was on a very impressive run. What was the problem here, AJ? Is it because it's just the lack of stand-up just makes him a little one-dimensional, you know what I mean? And when you get to that upper echelon, it's like, all right, brother, you got to mix it up a little bit. Because we talked about resumes, and I told you Cannonier's was a little more impressive than Brunson's. What do you think, though? Do you think it was the one-dimensional nature, or what happened here?
Oh, man, it has to be the one-dimensional nature. I mean, what else could it possibly be
Yeah,
in just in the fact that if we're able to point it out,
yeah,
that just two schmoes coming over here talking about fighting, if we're able to see that, obviously Cannonier can see that.
yeah,
And the fact that this dude is able to defend 10 takedowns, that's very impressive. I mean,
absolutely.
there's one way to gas somebody out, and it's have them try their hardest to do something and then stop them instantly in their tracks. And sure, Brunson was able to get 3 takedowns, but that holding him down is a whole different story. Getting the takedown, sure, fine enough. But if this dude keeps standing up every single time, I don't know if you ever have this done to you folks, but if you're ever there, you're happy you got the takedown, and stands right up, and then you got to go again, and then he's stuffing you. It's quite a not only a physical draining thing, but mentally draining, because all you're thinking is, damn, I had him, and he just keeps standing up. So I think it just the fact that Brunson is so one dimensional and almost locked in, laser focused on that takedown, and when things aren't happening your way, you kind of start fading a little bit, start thinking about other stuff, using more of your mental energy towards other things, or you're thinking about just other stuff. It makes it very hard to focus and lock in on what you're doing. And I think that was one of the biggest things I saw in this fight is Derek Brunson was a little unfocused when the times got rough. Sure, he walked in, laser focused, locked in, but then once the fight started going, he started running away. You started seeing the breathe-ins kind of really start to take advantage. There was one point in the second where Derek Brunson got hit, and he literally just turned around and ran away.
Yeah.
That's quite a telling sign that this dude is somewhere else in the fight, not necessarily locked in. This was a rough one for Derek Brunson going forward, and a pretty good fight. I mean, maybe not the best fight we've seen of Jared Cannonier, but a really good outcome for him, especially if his goal was to be defending those takedowns, because he did a hell of a job, man. What you think?
I mean, I'm just pulling up this picture real fast, brother, because just that's devastating. Look at those elbows right there, man. And for those who are just listening, this is just a still of Jared Cannonier dropping elbows on Derek Brunson's face. I agree with you, man. I agree with everything that you said. Derek Brunson just needed to do a little bit more. If he knew that this is kind of what I had saw in other fights, though, right? Even in the Darren Till fight, where it's like he's desperately getting to the legs and like barely surviving when he's getting hurt and stuff like that. And Jared Cannonier, it's like when he puts it on you, man, the power is a little bit too much. And as soon as he got those ground and pound opportunities, man, Brunson. So basically, the controversy here is that Brunson's corner threw in the towel like right before these elbows were happening, and the ref didn't see it. You know what I mean? So he took some unnecessary damage. He ate about 2-3 elbows. flush. Like, those were not just like, let me drop an elbow. That was like, let me fucking kill you with my elbow right there. Cannonier smashed him with those ones, man. Tough way to go out. He says he's going to pick himself up for one more fight after this because he will be retiring after his next fight, is what he says. However, we do know who's going to be facing Israel Adesanya next, and it is going to be Jared Cannonier. This is a big, big win, and that is really all I have to say about it. I do think Jared Cannonier left us on desiring just a little bit more in this performance, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, man, and this was a beautiful win right here. He shut up all the critics right there, so shout out to that one.